We love you. Just a little update on the Kelsey and Patrick's case here. Apparently, the arraignment has been pushed to a later date, the 24th of May of this year, 2019, because the defense needs more time to look at the evidence and evidence that is being tested. So the case has been pushed back to May the 24th at 8:30 a.m. So when Patrick came into the courtroom and sat down, it wasn't long after that they stated that they would like this to be adjourned for a little bit longer so they could get this testing done. A little bit later for the testing. So this is why the judge gave them this adjournment, because it's only fair, isn't it, guys? It's only fair that they have a little bit more time to get whatever evidence they need testing, so we don't have a mistrial. How about that, guys? We don't want a mistrial, so just give them what they want. A few more weeks. Now, is this a tactic? Is it? Might be. But what has this got to do with him, his arraignment and his plea? If you feel that you are not guilty, you should make your plea of not guilty. But they need more time. And even though they have lots of evidence, physical evidence, this is a homicide case after all, because we know KK has made her statements and has pled guilty in the fact. But that doesn't mean she is telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. She is just telling her side. And we only have a little bit of her statement, really, because we don't know what she's going to be saying in court when she is to be a witness for the DA. We don't know what she's going to say. Will her story change? Will she add some more to it? We don't know. But all we know so far with her statements is that she is guilty. And she sure is guilty of more than she pled guilty for. They made a deal with the devil. But who knows? After this, they might just get her on a little bit more. Maybe they're saving that to the last. Maybe when she has been brought back to court to face her sentence, and the judge, gives her the time that she is going to have to do, they might slap her with another felony. Who knows? That's just my opinion. That could happen. They got more evidence, and they could put on her. Let's hope that's the truth. Let's hope that happens. So, and another good news is that Kelsey's mother, the parents, Cheryl and Daryl, still have custody. Yes, little Kaylee is in the arms of her grandparents still. And that is not likely to change anytime soon. So, in my opinion, they can still keep going back to court and try and find some way to take the baby out of their care. But that is not going to happen anytime soon. The only way that could happen is if he is found not guilty, and then only then he will have to fight for his child. And he might not get her. That's all I'm saying. Stranger things have happened. And just because you may be found not guilty doesn't mean that you are not guilty. Sometimes there just is not enough evidence to put you behind bars for life. Now, that's an if, guys. That's an if. We have to look at all aspects of this. It's a long way from being over, and this case could take up to a year. So they've got a little bit more time. I mean, now the arraignment has been pushed back to May the 24th, and then therefore after that they will set a date for the first hearing and the case will begin. But we don't know when that case will begin. Now, he's in a little bitty town. Things move slow in that neighborhood, I guess. And it's like a holiday camp. You know, it's one of those towns where everybody knows everybody. And it's not easy for anything to be overheard. So, even though he is in there for first-degree murder charge, he is not guilty yet, so is not being treated as a felon at this time. But, you know, it looks like he's gaining a little weight, so, you know, in the face. And, you know, he's wearing that body armor again, you know, bulletproof vest. I had to chuckle to myself because, you know, he's in this old courthouse and the blinds are up and they sit him right next to the window. Well, the bulletproof vest wouldn't help him in this situation because he's sitting on a chair and his head is showing only. So if he was to be a target, somebody could go to that building opposite, or if there is a building opposite, I'm not sure, if somebody wanted him gone. But that they're not going to do that. So maybe you should move him away from the window. Seems you got a bulletproof vest on him. Just stating observation, you know. But nobody's going to risk their life to have him gone off this earth. So, you know. So anyway, that's the update on this case. So we won't hear no more until May the 24th. And the hearing is at 8:30 in the morning. Of course, he's wearing his, you know, striped green jumpsuit. So that's what he's wearing, the famous striped green jumpsuit. He never wears a coat or nothing. You notice that? Even in November, December, January, he was never wearing a coat. But, you know, when they get this little bit more evidence, this testing done, what's this going to prove? Tampering with evidence? Tampering with physical evidence? Is he going to take a plea deal? They don't want him to take a plea deal yet because all the testing is not in. And well, I think he's just going to plead not guilty because he's going to fight this. And the evidence may not be enough. And at this time, the Kelsey remains have still not been found. I don't even think they found nothing, not a scratch. And I'm beginning to think that, this KK's lying. But she did say it could be in the dump, in the trash site, waste management. She also said could be in a river. She could be anywhere, if you ask me. I mean, there's a few things she could have just said. She could be in Idaho before we know. The remains could have been taken to Idaho. We don't know that because she's not telling the truth, the whole truth. Is she going to admit to taking the remains to Idaho and dumping them and burning them again and taking those remains to the hospital and burning them in an incinerator there like she did the phone? Who's to say she didn't do that? She's not going to admit to that because she's going to get charged. We'll see if, that's something worth thinking about. All the things that she's done so far, who's to know that these remains weren't taken there? We don't know. We only have her word. Right. And who goes to the extent of burning 2 phones, Kelsey's and, one of those other phones, a burner phone, and she's not admitting to nothing else. So I'm thinking that's probably what she did. That's my opinion. I'm just thinking that's what she could have done. Because he asked her to do it. But, who's to say that she didn't do it? She didn't do it. And asked him for help. Yeah. They're both involved with it as much. They are both involved with it as each other. And, the the DA needed her in this case. Because that's all they got so far. That we know of. And we all know that they're going to keep some things back into evidence and will not be released until trial starts, and it'll be coming out as the trial goes on. And he's probably going to say, when it comes down to it, that she's the one that did it. Oh yeah, because these texts and her involvement put her right in the middle of it all. It does. And they're gonna, I know she's got a plea deal. I know she's been found, she's made her guilty plea. But what does this mean when he says she's the one that did it and he tells his story? What's his story going to be? Even though she's made her guilty plea and he said that she did it and he helped her, what are they going to do to him? Just saying, it's just my opinion, and it's just another way of looking into it. What are they going to do when he says that she did it and he helped her? Because they were both seen on camera. They were both seen out and about. Their phones were pinging near each other. She even admitted to being on the land at his home when this all went down. So you can't tell me no different. and probably a lot of other people, that she is involved up to her neck in this. And we know she was dating him. We know that Kelsey was standing in her way. We know she'd do anything for him, and he'd do anything for her by the looks of things. That's how I see it. So they're both lying about their involvement. And let's hope that they've got something up their sleeve for her at the end of this case. Let's hope when he makes his statement, if he ever talks in the trial, if he ever goes to trial, if he ever talks, let's hope the DA's got something up their sleeve. And they're going to get one or the other. One of them is going to pay dearly for this. And let's hope one of them's going to pay dearly. One's got a sweet deal right now. But like I said, they could get something else on her and charge her again on that. So guys, let's have a discussion and your thoughts, and thank you for stopping by.